doing exactly what I want to. Hi there, Thrill Seekers, and that of course was a snippet from the song I'm 5 Years Ahead of My Time by the Third Bardo. Of course you knew that. The Third Bardo, by the way, the Bardos are a concept from Tibetan Buddhism, and I don't know a whole lot about Tibetan Buddhism, but it shows up in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and I'm sure that's where they got their name. Let's see, the Third Bardo is called the Samten Bardo. It is the bardo of meditation. This bardo is generally only experienced by meditators, though individuals may have spontaneous experience of it. Samten bardo is a subset of the Kyenye bardo, which is the first bardo. There you go. So that's what that is. If you're looking for the song, it's on the Nuggets box set. It's probably on some other things like that. I think I probably first heard it in the version by Plan 9, which was a label mate of mine when I was on Midnight Records back in the 80s. Okay, so what do I want to talk to you about today? Oh yeah, before I talk to you about what I want to talk about, I'm really going on today. Know that I am next week going to be in Hokkyoji. That sounds like the way Germans speak English sometimes. Anyway, I'm going to next week be in Hokkyoji Zen Monastery. That's February 12th through 18th. Maybe it's too late to join that, but if you want to write to them, maybe you're in Minnesota, that's where the place is, and maybe you can get there easily. Write an email to hokkyoji@hokkyoji.org. Also, Sunday, February 18th, I will be giving the Dharma Talk there from Hokkyoji, and that Dharma Talk will be available online, live, I think. And if you want to find out, I'm putting the URL on the screen below. It is hokkyoji.org/Sunday-talks. So go to hokkyoji.org/Sunday-talks, Sunday Talks. So, and it'll tell you when and how to tune in and whatever you need. So, today's topic is Zen Success Stories. A few weeks ago, somebody sent me a link to a website created by a guy who used to sit with my little Zen group years ago. And he is now kind of promoting himself as some kind of meditation coach or something like that. Like one of those, what do they call those personal, what do they call those things? Those coaches, life coach, like a life coach, that kind of thing, but a Zen life coach or a mindfulness life coach. And his qualifications is that he's been practicing Zen for 10 whole years, which is where I was at around 1991, I guess. So I don't know if I'd want to be taking meditation instructions from 1991 Brad, but, whatever. But one of the things that shows up on this website is success stories. That's one of the links you can get on the website. So there's, about us and, how to join, whatever. I don't know what else. But then one of the links is success stories. So you get you click on that and you get little testimonials from a bunch of people who've had success working with this guy, and they've gotten results. That word shows up in the website a few times too. Results. So I wanted to talk about that because I'm thinking, I've been at this Zen teaching thing, such as it is, for about 20 years. I can't remember exactly what year Nishijima Roshi first kind of pushed me out front and made me do the lectures. He retired from doing his Saturday afternoon lectures that he'd been doing for 20 or more years, and made me do them, which I didn't really want to do, but he kind of talked me into it by giving me this sob story of like, oh, I want to retire and it's very difficult for me to do this, and I'm like, oh God. Anyway, so I left Japan in 2004, so it must have been before 2004. So 2003 maybe? So maybe I've been at this 21 years, or maybe it was 2002 or even 2000. I don't really know. But it's been a while. Do I have any success stories? Like if I were to make a website, could I put some people up there telling their testimonials of their success stories of practicing with Brad? I don't think so. I really honestly don't think so. And I don't think I would even count myself among Zen success stories because I don't feel successful at it. I don't feel like... what is success? That is a question that I think goes right to the heart of the kind of meditation we do in Zazen. Zazen is meant to be, well, the reason it's not meditation is most meditation has a goal or a desired result or something by which you can measure success as opposed to failure. And the point of Zazen is not to measure success or failure and not to work for a result. Now, having said that, and what I say all the time when this comes up is that you can't help having some kind of goal or idea of success and failure or whatnot in your mind. I don't know, maybe there's somebody out there who's managed to do that. I sure haven't. You wouldn't spend the kind of time, effort, and energy that is required to do a Zen practice if you didn't want anything at all out of it. Like that, I just don't believe there's anybody who ever did that. And it's pretty clear that the Buddha himself had a kind of a goal that he desired or some kind of an idea of success. The thing is, when you are actually practicing, you gotta let that go. Now, it doesn't matter that much if an idea of, I want success in Zen, or I want to have this result in Zen, or I'm doing it because of this, or I'm doing it for this reason, blah, blah, blah. All sorts of thoughts will bubble in your head. The point in Zazen is to let all of those thoughts go. Don't measure success or failure. In fact, our man, Mr. Dogen, says that right in one of his most famous essays, Fukan Zazengi, Universal Guide to the Standard Method of Zazen. If you want to look for the Nishijima Cross version, it's in Master Dogen's Shobogenzo, Book 1, near the end as an appendix because it's not actually part of Shobogenzo, but it kind of fits with Shobogenzo. It's also been translated numerous times. Pretty much any book of sort of Dogen's greatest hits is going to include Fukan Zazengi. And right there, right near the beginning of it, it says, in general, a quiet room is good for practicing Zazen, and food and drink are taken in moderation. Cast aside all involvements. Give the myriad things a rest. Do not think of good and bad. Now, that doesn't mean don't think of good and evil, don't think of Hitler and, I don't know, Mother Teresa used to be the poster girl for good, but now she's been tarnished, so I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't mean that. Don't think of good and bad. Don't think of this Zazen is good or this Zazen is bad. Again, those thoughts come to mind. Maybe we can just say, don't take those thoughts seriously if they pop up. Do not consider right and wrong. Stop the driving movement of mind, will, consciousness. Cease intellectual consideration through images, thoughts, and reflections. Do not aim to become a Buddha. How could this be connected with sitting or lying down? So, don't aim to become a Buddha. Don't aim to get better at your office skills. Don't aim to be the King Poo-Poo of Poo-Poo Island, whatever. Just don't worry about it. And this is easier said than done. And it's kind of funny that I'm saying this on the eve of heading out to Hokkyoji, because Hokkyoji was a place where during a 7-day sesshin years ago, I I kind of caught on to what this meant. It's one of these things, because by the time I'd gone to this sesshin in Hokkyoji, I'd been doing Zazen. I was already a teacher of Zazen and written books and stuff. So you kind of find these things and lose them, and find them and lose them. At least that's been my process as I've gone on it. And there was a moment where it just occurred to me, something Dokai Georgeson said, and I don't remember what he said, but he's the leader of he's the kind of guy who runs Hokkyoji. He said something, and I was like, oh yeah, that not measuring success or failure is right now, this minute. At this minute, no success, no failure. And one of the things that comes up in Nishijima Roshi's translation of Muda Madhyamaka Karika, which is Fundamental Wisdom of the Middle Way, is what we published it under that title. It's our version and not the J. Garfield version with the same title, and there's a long story behind that. You know what? I'm going to tell that long story and try to make it short. It's that the publisher of the book thought, okay, Tibetan Book of the Dead. The Tibetan Book of the Dead is called Bardo Todol or something like that, which does not translate to Tibetan Book of the Dead. But everybody calls it the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and if you published your translation under another title, nobody would know what it was. So he inferred from that Mura Madhyamaka Karika was now understood to be Fundamental Wisdom of the Middle Way, which isn't the exact translation, but it's close enough, and that we should publish it under that title. And then J. Garfield got all bent out of shape because we'd used his title, and I think it was a stupid accusation, but, maybe I should have titled it differently anyway. So anyway, in that book, one of the things that Nishijima Roshi hammers again and again that I had to work on when I was working on my, fixing up his English and trying to make it sing, was that there's no such thing as a result. There are no results. Right here and right now, you can say, let's see, I'm making this video as a result of pressing the button on the machine right here that you can't see because the machine is recording me. You can say that, but at this moment there is just the thing that's happening now. And the thing that happened in the past, we can, because we're human beings and we're very clever, we can kind of pinpoint somewhere around the thing that caused that thing. And then we decide that we know what caused that thing. But we don't really, because there's a whole universe of causes and conditions that have to come together in order for anything to happen, and you can never figure them all out, which is kind of what I was saying yesterday, or day before yesterday, when I said trying to figure out karma will make you crazy. You'll go crazy if you that's karma. The cause and effect relationships are karma. That's what that is. So if you try to figure it out, you'll go crazy. And it just, when I see, somebody I've taught going out there promising success and results from Zen, it makes me think that I am not successful at teaching Zen. So obviously, I am not a success at teaching Zen if somebody studies with me for a few years and then goes out and promotes himself as a Zen teacher who promises success and results. Yeah, I'm sorry that I haven't given you success and I haven't given you results, but I hope that you've at least enjoyed the entertainment that I've provided in terms of the books I've written and these videos and the songs that I put up and everything else. So I hope you at least enjoyed that. So there you go. That's Zen Success Stories for you. There are no Zen Success Stories. Anyway, if you want to help me write my own success story, you can donate to me by going to the URL that you're seeing on the screen below, which is hardcorezen.info/donate. That is hardcorezen.info/donate. There you will find links to my PayPal and Patreon accounts, and those are the ways I make a living. That's pretty much my main way of making a living, is those donations, and I appreciate your support. But as always, you don't gotta support me if you don't wanna. Okay, I'm gonna have some videos after I finish this. I'm gonna put some videos together from old stuff that will go up next week. I'm not sure how many will go up, but look for me next week because I'll have something. And then the week after that, I'll be back doing live in the studio videos. We'll see you later. Have a good time all the time. Bye. Hey there, Ziggy. How you doing? Did you enjoy that talk about Zen success stories? Do you feel like doggies have success stories? I don't know if they do. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the song by the Third Bardo. We'll talk to you later, Ziggy. Bye.